Welcome to my channel, The Three Mountains. My name is White Eagle. Today I would like to share with you my diary and some of my writings as I was walking the path. I found this diary in the loft, hidden, and I had not opened it for many years. And throughout Easter, I went up the loft and I got it, and I decided to take a look at it. I'm not going to share my private life and my work on what egos I was doing, because this is private, and I suppose that each one of us has their own problems or their own egos to sort out. I want to share other things, and let me start. First of all, I want to say that in my last video we finished the video speaking about the difference between the historical Jesus, the man Jesus who did the path, and the Christ. And I did say to you that it's a cosmic force that we incarnate at some point in the path. This diary more or less starts with the second mountain. I lost all my diaries telling my dreams and stuff about the first mountain. Anyways, let us get started. Just a moment. I start here. This is more or less 2008, and I say that we have to pass many trials before we can see the light finally. I know nothing at all. I only trust that God will lead me on to where I will go and to what I must do. And then I write in Spanish, so I will translate it for you. And it says that I know that with time, or in time, God will be washing myself, and I will see the path better and the heaven one day. Now, at this point in time, I can look back and I can see how much He has changed me. He has looked after me and He has cleansed me from the leper, the ego. My obedience to God is such because of His love, His infinite love towards me. And then in April 2008, then I also wrote in Spanish about the Christ. As I said, this is my private diary. I never shown it to anybody, but I would like to share these paragraphs with you. And who would have imagined that I would see myself to have the Christ, the baby Christ, in my arms? And this is, I'm questioning myself. I do not have children on earth, but I have the Christ in my arms in the internal worlds. It gave me a lot of happiness that He is with me. And then I continue by saying that I know that I have to finish my first book and give it to the world. And I know that the second part is about the second mountain. So at that moment in time, I was finishing my first book, which I published in 2010, and the second book I published it later on, which you can have access in one of my videos. As regards the Christ, if you want to see more or less what He looks like, go back to my video number 13, where I speak about the meaning of Christmas. And that image that I put at the beginning of the video, that baby looks is kind of identical to the one you incarnate. Yes. So now you know that the Christ is a cosmic force that anybody can incarnate along the path. And it's not only that you incarnate it, then it starts to grow inside you. Yes, it has to grow. Now let us continue, just a moment. I did lots of writings. So the emerald tablets of Thoth. I lift ever upwards your eyes towards the light. Surely in time you are one with the Master. Surely by right you are one with the Master. Surely by right, yet you are one with the all. Yes, this is what I wrote. I don't remember it. But then it says here, I have the feeling that the incarnation of the Master in me is coming soon. The time is getting nearer as I am completing the tests. And remember, this is actually a mistake, is wrong. This was written in 2008, and I actually incarnated the Master in 2017. So I had to wait 9 more years for that to happen, for that cosmic event to happen. Anyways, continuing with my diary, I found this that I would like to share also with you. A constitution for living, the successful one. The principles of growth to practice according to the teachings of the 4 kaka. These are texts from the Buddhist sacred teachings. Number 1, choosing a suitable environment conducive to learning and betterment in life, to the pursuit of the truth, virtue, and knowledge, and the generation of goodness and prosperity. Number 2, associating with good people, to seek association or alliance with people who are virtuous and who will support one's pursuit of the truth, virtue, and knowledge. Number 3, establishing oneself rightly, to establish oneself firmly in virtue and a right way of life, to establish a clear and virtuous goal for one's life and work, and set oneself resolutely and firmly on the right path to that goal, not wavering or being negligent. Number 4, having a capital foundation. This capital foundation comprises seeking further knowledge, to strengthen good qualities, to bring about welfare and happiness, and to advance to even greater heights. So you need to understand that I was always encouraging myself. I was alone, and whenever I had time, I would be reading the sacred texts from any source, Buddhists, Christian. As I said, gnosis can be found in every sacred text in the world. Now, the principles of success, known as the Iddhipada, or pathways to success. Number 1, having a great of zeal, to be keen to do something and to do it for the love of it, to wish to bring an activity or task to its optimum fruition. Number 2, doing with effort, to be diligent and apply oneself to a task with effort, fortitude, patience, and perseverance, not abandoning it or becoming, just a moment, not becoming discouraged, but striving ever onward until success is attained. Number 3, committing oneself to the task, to establish one's attention on the task in hand and do it thoughtfully, not allowing the mind to wander, to apply one's thought to the matter regularly and consistently, and to do the task or action devotedly. Number 4, using wise investigation to diligently apply wise reflection to examine cause and effect within what one is doing and to reflect on your future actions. And then finally, the conditions for enlightenment that I found in this Buddhist sacred text. And it says, following the Buddha's example to somebody. 1, non-contentment with wholesome qualities. knowing no cessation of performing and generating virtue and good works. So you cannot tire yourself from performing good works. Yes. Number 2, unrelenting effort, striving forward constantly, not retreating, refusing to give in the face of obstacles, weariness, and difficulties. As I repeat, I was constantly encouraging myself. I used to find consolation about, in these words, for any pain, any obstacles, any troubles that I was going through, which were many at the time. Anyways, we continue. The path is always difficult and heavy. Now we continue here, just a moment. Now this is again 2008, you can see the date on the top. Last night I saw a young boy of 8 or 9 years old, with golden hair and shining exceedingly with a golden crown on his head. I can only think of the Christ that I incarnated as a beautiful baby. Growing into a boy now? My intuition says yes. So that was an astral experience. And here I point out what Master Samael says, that once you incarnate the baby, Christ, that baby has to grow inside you. Yes, and you keep killing egos, and it will be growing inside you. Later I was given a small truck, the one my father had before buying the big truck, for me to drive, and it would be my own. I was happy. I know it is the Gnostic truck of esoteric knowledge that I will drive to teach others. So I was very happy about that. Now let us continue now. Now finally, this is a drawing that I found. I remember the path was endless for me. It was really long, and you can see myself there with wings, just thinking of only one thing, going towards the absolute. And we will speak about the two paths that become open for the initiate to follow, the spiral one and the direct path. And this is me here taking the direct path to the absolute. And I did this drawing. I'm not a good artist, but I don't know, I kept it for my diary. And this I wrote already in 2011. Yes, I find life a training ground where we are learning as students who we are and what we do to others. This training goes on and on all the time. It gets repeated many times throughout a long time, and we go changing roles, sons, daughters, apprentices, helpers, assistants, until one day we are in charge of our own life. We wake up one day as the boss, the mother, the person from where the law comes to exist. We are the master and commander of our own ship, for good or bad. This training gets more and more refined until we see other people's mistakes easily. We become teachers of others who are in need of someone to rely on, to support them. Now, instead of reaching the goal, we come to be the goal itself for others to come to or to reach. We have reached the end, which is God, when we reached God, and now the end is the beginning for us to show others the way in life. Right, up to here, I'll leave you with this picture, and I do hope that if you are on the path, you choose the direct path towards the absolute. It's a superior work, and it is of course full of suffering. Nonetheless, it is the one that Master Samael left, and he said that that we are the followers of the direct path to the absolute. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.